Denver's a fascinating team to me, man. You know, Bo Nix, year 2, he would have been offensive rookie of the year if not for Jaden Daniels. And I know that's like, you know, yeah, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a wagon. But, you know, Denver, Sean Payton, honestly, they dead capped Russell Wilson to the largest dead cap in history. And would you call the Broncos a Super Bowl contender coming into this year, Mike? Yeah.
Yes. You know, Aaron Rodgers said last week there are usually 6 to 8 serious Super Bowl contenders, maybe 10 to 12, and he sees the Steelers as one of the 12. And I started putting a list together, and I'm sorry, the Steelers are not one of the 12, because to be one of the 12, they're going to have to elbow out the Broncos. And the Broncos are legit. The AFC West is scary. It's the best collection of coaching talent, top to bottom, that any division has ever had, team by team. You know, the NFC East had some great coaches in the 80s, but they also had the Cardinals. So, you know, so all due respect to the then St. Louis Cardinals, but that's just the reality. 4 teams, this division, the 4 coaches, the talent they have. The Raiders, the poor Raiders, if they were in any other division, they'd maybe be a wild card contender. But the Broncos, the Chargers, the Chiefs, I think the Broncos are legitimate. The defense is better than it was last year. They didn't lose Vance Joseph to a head coaching job, which allows Sean Payton to entrust that side of the ball to him. The offense is going to be better. They signed Cortland Sutton. They've got J.K. Dobbins, who, when healthy, is as good as any running back in the NFL. They've added R.J. Harvey. I mean, they are feeling good, quietly, confidently good about what they've got going into the season. And they could stir things up with the Kansas City Chiefs when it's time to play the games.
Hey, man, we played that game too. I guess great minds think alike. As soon as Rodgers made that statement, we went around the room here and say, how many Super Bowl contenders are there in the NFL? I came up with 15, Brockman 12, and TJ just said, screw it. This is going to be a very tight group. You said 7.
7.
Right? And you came up with 12, Mike?
I've got about 11 or 12.
Okay.
And the Steelers were down to that 12th spot. And if they get it, then the Chargers don't, the Broncos don't, the Vikings don't, the Packers don't. So, and 12 is stretching it. You know, there are coaches who will tell you at any given time in the NFL, there are 10 teams to worry about, 10 teams you don't have to worry about, and 10 to 12 teams in the middle. And look at where we are. Even with the parity of the salary cap, ideally, you win the Super Bowl every 32 years in this system. And look at the past 32 years and look at how many teams have won it, how many times they've won it, how many teams haven't been to it, how many teams haven't won it, how many teams haven't even gotten to the conference championship game, i.e. the Cowboys. So it's amazing when you look at how teams have cracked the code on the current system of salary cap, free agency, draft and develop, and get yourself a franchise quarterback, and that's the indispensable ingredient. But we have teams that have figured it out, and we have plenty of teams that can't. And this is not what Pete Rozelle envisioned back in the 70s when he got sick and tired of the Steelers, Dolphins, Cowboys, Raiders running the NFL. Well, what do we have now, Rich? We've got the Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Lions, 49ers. Like, there's an upper crust of the NFL and everybody else.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.